Oh, hey there. So I heard the story, and I assume it's true. I don't know. This man, in his will, he left everything that he had to the devil. And when the lawyers read his will, and all of his family and friends were there, and they were like, "Yeah, it's all going to go to the devil," they're all like, "What?" And the lawyers were like, "We don't know how to give it to the devil. Like, what's his address?" And so they just did nothing with it. And years passed, and they came by and they saw all of his stuff, and sure enough, it was rotted, holes in the roof, overgrown, thorns everywhere, stickers everywhere, vultures and rotten animals all over the place. And they're like, I guess the devil really did get all of his stuff. And I think there's an important lesson in this, okay? And that is how, when we do nothing, that really is giving our life to the devil, okay? Now, let me give an example in the Bible, because I know you're like, do you have an example from the Bible? The answer is yes. A certain man, he gave money to his servants. He gave one 5 talents and one 2 talents and one 1 talent. Now, a talent was a lot of gold, okay? Let's call it $1 million in today's dollars. So 1 talent, let's call it $1 million. And so he gives one guy $5 million and another guy $2 million and another guy $1 million. And he goes away for a very long time. And he comes back, and to the guy with $5 million, he says, what have you done with what I gave you? And he said, Lord, I took your 5 talents, your 5 million, and I made 5 more. Here's 10 million, 10 talents, and I want you to have that. And this is what the master said to him. He said, well done, good and faithful servant. Now, since you've done well with small things, now I'm going to give you charge over 10 cities. Well, that's a pretty big deal. And so he went to the second guy, and he's like, what have you done with what I gave you? And he goes, I took the 2 talents that you gave me, the $2 million, if you will, and I made 2 more. And so here you go. And he goes, well done, good and faithful servant. Because you've done well with small things, then now I'm going to entrust you with bigger things. Now you're in charge of these 2 cities. And then he went to the man with 1 talent, which is still $1 million, okay? You can take $1 million and put it in the bank, and over time, you're going to grow a significant amount of money just off bank interest. But this is what the guy said. He said, I knew that you were a hard man, that you reap where you did not sow, and you are fierce. And so I took your money. I didn't want to lose it. I took your money. I buried it in the ground. Let me go get it. And he digs it up, and he brings it to him. He goes, here's your talent back. Here's your $1 million back. And what did he say? He said, you wicked, evil servant. The least you could have done, the very least you could have done is put it in the bank and gotten interest. That's the least you could have done. But you buried it and you did nothing. And he said, take that from the man that has the 1 talent and give it to the man who has 10, because you did nothing. And then he said, and send him out to where there's weeping and gnashing of teeth. Basically he's saying, send him to hell. Now, this guy didn't do anything horrible. He wasn't a child molester. He wasn't Hitler. He wasn't a junkie. He went to hell because, and hear me out on this, he did nothing. What have you done with what God gave you? Have you done something? Have you at least gotten bank interest back on it? Have you at least gone, in this amount of time, the very least I could have done with the faith and the gifts that you've given me is this? Have you done that, or have you done literally nothing? Because neglect is just as bad. In fact, the Bible says that he who knows the right thing to do and does not do it, that is sin for him. Some hard words. Think about it. I made a thing up in my house. It's a big sculpture or whatever, and it says, what have you done with what I gave you? And it's above my head, right? So I have to on purpose look up and see it. And from time to time I look up, I'm like, not enough.